Gentlemen, we have called you together to inform you that we are going to overthrow the United States government. Do you still think that jet fuel brought down the World Trade Center? Does anybody else see a problem here? If the government has nothing to hide, why are they so afraid to answer a few questions? This story does not add up.
On April 19th, 1995, at 9:02 a.m., explosions tore through the Alfred P. Murrah building in downtown Oklahoma City, ripping through the consciousness of America. 169 people were left dead and hundreds more injured. The Oklahoma City bombing was the largest act of terrorism on American soil until 9/11. America had a new demon. We're now being told that this demon is emerging from its slumber. Since that day of horror, groundbreaking new information has come to light. So provocative, so explosive, that it threatens to shatter everything we thought we knew about the true nature of terrorism.
We'll pursue every lead and use every possible resource to bring the people responsible to justice.
I was sitting at my desk there on the 8th floor. I felt the building start shaking, lights went out, debris started falling on my desk. Something hit me in the back of the head and knocked me out before the truck bomb went off. What that tells you is that there were other explosive devices in the building that actually brought the building down.
It's an earthquake. Everybody get down on underneath on the floor. And I had sat there and I thought, no, it doesn't feel like an earthquake. 7 or 8 seconds later, I felt this explosion.
Only an imbecile would look at that damage pattern and not understand that it couldn't have been made by a truck bomb, because a truck bomb is going to release its energy simultaneously in every direction.
The record clearly shows that Dr. Jolyon West consulted Timothy McVeigh's defense team. Dr. West had previously been psychiatrist and consulted for Patty Hearst, Saran, and Jack Ruby.
We know that Jolyon West was considered to be the #2 mind control expert in North America under only Dr. Ewing Cameron. We know that he was McVeigh's doctor from the time around the trial to the time he was incarcerated in Terre Haute, Indiana, and then executed.
Even though the spin was, it was the right wing, it was the militias, McVeigh was involved in all this stuff, he did it because of Waco, you know, all this stuff that the media was pumping out, none of it panned out. The militia in those days would have guarded the Murrah building. Now they wouldn't have guarded the UN.
I wrote a letter to the district attorney, Macy, told him what I had seen and that I wanted to testify in the grand jury. I got a letter back from him telling me that the grand jury did not want to hear anything I had to say about the bombing.
It is every patriotic American's duty, every man, woman, and child's responsibility to research the facts contained in this film, to verify for yourself that this information is true, and that the rabbit hole goes even deeper, and then take action to bring the criminals that perpetrated this attack to justice. If we don't, they're going to win and bring down our republic in the process.
On April 19th, 1995, explosions tore through the federal building in Oklahoma City, ripping through the consciousness of America. 168 people were killed and hundreds wounded. Since that day of horror, groundbreaking new information has come to light, so provocative, so explosive, that it threatens to shatter everything we thought we knew about the true face of terrorism.
Based on the damage pattern to the building, what the government says is impossible.
I haven't stopped asking questions because I know that we haven't been told the truth.
What that tells you is that there were other explosive devices in the building that actually brought the building down.
I know for a fact Timothy McVeigh was with another individual on the morning of April 19th, right before the bombing.
He made the comment, yeah, we knew this was going to happen.
That caused a lot of questions in people's minds about, well, what really happened here?
The enhanced photo shows a very distinct possibility of a man standing behind that truck.
A lot of patients, I think, were lost that could have been saved.
The people that did the things they did knew doggone well what they were doing.
Some of these columns were ripped up, shredded, tossed around. God, I hate to think that they did it on purpose.
Where we can prove clearly that the official story is a fraud, that the government was involved and is using it to demonize good Americans. A piece of propaganda from Comedy Central in a moment, then I'll get to this short clip of Bruce Fine breaking down how despotism operates and why people in government follow orders that are clearly illegal, unconstitutional, and criminal. That's all coming up, and then some more news. But anxious Greeks emptying their bank accounts. Many Greeks are draining their savings accounts because they are out of work, face rising taxes, or are afraid the country will be forced to leave the Eurozone. By withdrawing money, they're forcing banks to scale back their lending and are inadvertently making the recession even worse, which is what the IMF plan calls for. Then the riots happen, then total confidence is destroyed, and the bankers come in and buy it up. Remember when Steve Forbes, 3-4 months ago, was over in Greece, and Max Kaiser ran into him, and Steve Forbes knew Max, and said, "It's great. You ought to come into the meetings with us. We're going to buy everything up for pennies on the dollar. This is awesome." That's how arrogant they are. I actually ran into Steve Forbes one time at a hotel, too. That guy must be all over the place. In Dallas, I'm walking up to my room. It was like 15 years ago. And I was up there visiting a girlfriend before I met my wife. And I'm walking up, and it's like right across to Steve Forbes. I'm like, "Steve Forbes." Doesn't matter. Boy, he's an ugly little creature in person. I don't usually go off looks. I don't care. But he is just like a rat. He looks like a demonic rat or something. It looks like his face was run over by a lawnmower. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm being mean, and I shouldn't be. Just another globalist. I'm sick of all of them. Now, we are carrying a new film that I am in, and that I can say conservatively is the best and only modern film about the Oklahoma City bombing. And the reason this is important is because the globalists are been hyping, staging new terror attacks. You've seen White House advisors like Robert Shapiro and the Financial Times of London and others talk about there needs to be a new Oklahoma City to blame libertarians and conservatives and to sick Homeland Security on domestic groups and for Obama to pose as a savior. Now, even if Obama was to be thrown out of office, the next president may do this as well, because Homeland Security is for the American people. It is the new film. We just got it in, and if you order it by the 19th, it will be shipped to you by Christmas. So everybody should get A Noble Lie, Oklahoma City, 1995. That's what insiders call staged terror attacks, a noble lie. Oh, we did this because the radical domestic groups are getting in the way of our utopian, collectivist, control freak, eugenics, New World Order, so we'll blow it up and blame them. And it's an incredible film with eyewitnesses, with victims, Jane Graham, you name it. The wife of Terrence Yakey, only interview ever, cop of the year, saved all the people, saw the ATF involved, they murdered him good. It's got the grand juror, Hoppy Heidelberg, the head grand juror, all of them. In fact, I can show you the back of it here if we document cam shot it. The point is that this is the only modern, definitive, and it's got incredible high-def archival footage I've never seen before. Just amazing. In 1995, the bombing in Oklahoma City was a direct blow to the heart of America. 168 people were killed, including 19 children. For those watching the nightly news, terrorism had come home. For years following the bombing, countless victims, family members, survivors, rescuers, and ordinary Americans have questioned the official accounts about that fateful day, hoping to shed light on answers long ignored and censored, both by prominent media outlets in the U.S. government. A Noble Lie peels back what we thought we knew about the bombing and its perpetrators. The film exposes information never before examined or brought to the attention of the American public. A Noble Lie is the culmination of years of research, and how Bill Clinton did it, by the way. This is the way to wake up conservatives about government-sponsored terror. and research and documentation conducted by independent journalists, scholars, and ordinary citizens, often risking their personal safety and sanity. They have gathered evidence which threatens to expose the startling reality of what exactly occurred at 9:02 a.m. on April 19, 1995, Oklahoma City. Utilizing footage and eyewitness testimony previously unseen, a noble lie will change forever the way you look at the true nature of terrorism. And I consulted a bit on this film and was also interviewed for it. It is powerful. It is the only modern film. There were a few made the year after it happened that were excellent and exposed it. I have a chapter in Road to Tyranny about it that's extremely powerful, but it's only about 30 minutes. This is a full-length film with expanded extras with the latest info. This proves it was a government-sponsored terror attack, and it proves the motive, who did it, names. It's a very dangerous film. A noble lie. April 19th, 1995, in downtown Oklahoma City, multiple bombs ripped through the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building. And as usual, federal fingerprints were all over this tragic event. Then President Bill Clinton, taking his orders from on high from the New World Order chieftains, needed a crisis to get his gun control agenda through, as well as his plans for a socialized America. Taking a page out of the Strong Men's Handbook, Bill Clinton knew that a crisis of this magnitude, endless images of mangled children, would pull on the heartstrings of the American people, and they would beg for the Anti-Terrorism Effective Death Penalty Act that he had failed to pass just a year before. The bill absolutely eviscerated massive sections of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. We've been investigating this tragedy for over 6 years. The amount of evidence is staggering. Let's just hit some of the key points. Now let's get into it.
Station that one explosion caused, because here's now what we are starting to learn about the succession, or what someone obviously hoped would be a succession of explosions. The first bomb that was in the federal building did go off. It did the damage that you see right there. The second explosive was found and diffused. The third explosive that was found, and they are working on right now as we speak, I understand, both the second and third explosives, if you can imagine this, were larger than the first. So try to imagine two- or three-fold happening what we've already seen there. It is just incredible to think that there was that much heavy artillery that was somehow moved into the downtown Oklahoma City Federal Building.
Two other explosive devices were found that were not detonated, and they were larger than the first.
I think he said another bomb.
Another bomb, move back. Oh my God, another bomb. We just saw, if you were watching there was a white pickup truck backing a trailer into the scene here. They're trying to move people out of the way so they can get it in. Appears to be the Oklahoma County Bomb Squad. It's their bomb disposal unit, essentially, is what it is, and it is what they would use to, if the report that we gave you just a few moments ago turns out to be correct, that they have found a second explosive device of some kind inside this building. They'll back that trailer down there, and the bomb squad folks will go in, and they will use that trailer. You see the bucket on the back there, sort of, this is how they would transport the explosive device away from this populated area to try to do something with it.
The Justice Department is reporting that a second explosive device has been found in the A.P. Murrah building in downtown Oklahoma City. Mike, you're still with us, aren't you?
Yes, I am, and I might tell you in addition to that, that in fact what we were told at the scene a few minutes ago was that in fact two different explosive devices were found in addition to the one that went off.
So a total of three.
A total of
now
three.
Confirmed through federal authorities that a second bomb has been found inside that federal building in Oklahoma City. It was an explosion at 9 o'clock this morning that did that damage you're looking at right there, blowing off the entire north face of that building. Again, you're looking at the north face there. A second bomb was found on the east side of that building. A bomb squad is on the scene. That second bomb has not exploded. We don't know quite the status yet, if they've managed to defuse it, but it has been confirmed that a second bomb was found on the east.